Hello again, my name's Richard Simons, this is my colleague Joe, and today we've got a side-by-side, the new Model 3 Performance versus the older Model 3 Performance. So we did a similar video just a week or two ago, but that was a standard range, but today we've got the two Performance models here, so a little bit, we'll go over some of the same stuff, see if they're still spec'd out the same. I picked this up yesterday, so I've covered a few miles in it now and tried to pick apart any other differences I can find. There will be a lot of other videos about the car and this car comparison, and because we did a brief one on the headlights. Yes. Yeah, and that showed some differences, so we're going to be able to do more with this. This is my own car, so we can now use this a lot more and do loads more things with it. And so we'll do some videos on the headlights actually on the road, but that'll be
in the dark,
separate video.
Dodging ponies.
And we've also got somebody coming, a friend of mine, who knows a fair bit about tyres, so we can do a little bit more of a separate comparison with tyres and stuff. So let's get into this. What do you think of the black? I chose black, hardest colour to keep, but what do you think?
I think with the D-chrome, it looks really cool.
Yeah, I think there's a mixed opinions, and we had quite a lot of comments on our previous video, people preferring D-chrome or preferring chrome. For me, these two combinations I think are the best. So I do think with the blue, the silver wheels and the chrome does look nice, but I kind of like the all black stealth look as well.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
And it's not overdone because there's not that many of them yet, and I think it does look the part. And it is the performance model. In fact, if anything, I feel like they should have reserved the D-chrome for the performance cars, really.
Interesting point.
You know, just because other manufacturers have got, you know, the M Sports and stuff like that, you get little bits of styling cues, and on the Tesla's Model S would be the same. Very little, you know, maybe red brake calipers and a spoiler. I think it'd be nice if they had a little bit more. So anyway, hey, it still looks
There's quite a mixed opinion on the previous video, so I think just having the option would have been nice really from Tesla, but it is D-chrome now, so that's the way it is. So we're going to be doing something a little bit similar to the other video. Let's have a walk around and try and pick apart all the differences. Let's start at the front. Yeah. So they've both got fronts. We noticed last time they were slightly different, and that carries over here as well. The new one has heat pump, doesn't it?
Yeah, so a little bit less space, no doubt, for componentry.
No carpet on that one, is there?
No, no carpet.
This one does.
Carpet, yeah.
This one does.
I wonder if that one will have a carpet by the end of the day.
It'd be nice to have that. I'm sure I can get one.
It just stops stuff rattling around. I think it'd be sort of accessory that you would miss.
I think it should have it, to be honest. I don't really see why it doesn't. It would be nice. Yeah. And I do like the bag hooks, but
they were quite ingenious.
So heat pump on this one. We've got a whole separate video that we were doing yesterday on efficiency. See if it gains efficiency or not. So that's another video.
All will be revealed.
Otherwise, yeah, much the same as the standard range, long range versions we've seen. You might have noticed at the front, the new cars in the UK now have a little green section on the number plate. It doesn't serve a great purpose yet, except to signify this is an emission-free vehicle, 100% electric. So only 100% electric vehicles are now allocated these green sections on the number plates. No doubt that will come into play with congestion zones and stuff like that.
Make them more easily identifiable. I think a lot of the owners, a little bit of pride in having that on there as well. People quite like it. Another way of differentiating.
Get a bit of mixed opinion I've seen on the owners' groups and forums and stuff, but let us know what you think in the comments below.
Sure thing.
Right, the wheels. So the wheels are one of the biggest visual cues, aren't they? Yeah, new wheels, old wheels. What do you think?
I like the new wheels. I think they just look a bit more aggressive and a bit more unusual. And actually, it was time they did something. And yeah, I'm a fan. What about you, Rich?
So they only come in the grey. I think the thing I noticed, I like them. I'm one of a mixed opinion. Again, I do appreciate any comments you have on this. There's a place for that style, and again, I think with that blue, the silver, with the previous style, does look really good.
Yes.
Then they went to grey on those, and we've refinished those wheels loads, haven't we, in different colours for people, and the greys and blacks, and they always look good. I like these, they're just quite different, so I do like them. Obviously, the nuts are covered up. The one thing we'll try and pick up on the camera is that the profile of these tyres is really different. Now, the tyres are the same size. They're 235, 35s R20, but these are Pirelli, and the previous tyres used in the Performance were Michelin. So again, we're going to be reviewing the tyres in a separate video in more detail to pick apart noise, performance differences, but it's quite a distinctive, different profile, and I can see us doing loads of refurbishments on these. They seem a little bit more vulnerable. There's a little bit of edge bead in here, but I think they're going to be probably more vulnerable than the previous 20-inch wheels.
I also imagine that we will be doing some reversals. These are going to go silver, and as you say, because the chrome looks better on the blue, we'll probably be putting chrome back on it.
Maybe.
You know, which I think could look quite
I'd
cool.
love to see these in silver, actually.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, because of the broader spokes and stuff, they might look quite cool in other colours, actually. They could be a bit more of a statement.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there'll be different centre caps, although I'm not sure what I feel about a different coloured centre cap. But there's a little bit more room to play around with these, I think.
Yeah.
A bit more conventional, because you don't have that kind of that section that comes out that kind of is almost integrated in the wheel. So, yeah.
It'd be interesting to see them in silver, wouldn't it? I think maybe we'll play with that one day.
There'll be red stickers on this soon, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, somebody will. It's got a little T logo in there.
Get some for yours, yeah?
Personally, not my fan. But, D-chrome. Obviously, the new cars are all D-chrome now, so we've just mentioned that briefly. But one thing I will highlight with this, and it's going to make it into probably another video, the things that bug me about the new Model 3, because there's a few. You know what I'm like.
It's going to be a longer video, that.
You know,
Strap in.
No, I do love it, I love it, love it. But there's a few things that bug me. So the handles look kind of nice, especially in black, nice and sleek. But at night, you can't see them. There's no illumination.
Oh, yeah, because Model S, Model S
Yeah.
doors come out and there's a little illumination.
Yeah, yeah. At least when they were chrome, you could kind of
pick them out.
Yeah. So at night, what you're going to do is you're going like this. You're going to be touching your bodywork loads, and that's a bug. I mean, I've always been a little bit upset by these anyway. My daughter, smaller hands, can't open them with one hand. She's like, "Daddy, can you open the door?"
Yes.
She's holding something, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Not everyone gets on with them. First, my favourite is always with people who have to use two hands to undo them. I always find that quite comical.
Yeah,
but,
you
know,
get your
one
technique,
hand is
don't you?
fine. Yeah.
So at night time, you can't see the new handles. Phone torches to the rescue, I think.
Probably true.
Yeah. Right. Double glazing or double
Yeah, I mean, it's got
pane glass.
plenty in common with the, as would you expect with Tesla, they like to, cut the amount of production time necessary and the amount of differences. So it's got the double glazing that you've seen before. It's got the same style of centre console, bit more updated interior with this sort of titanium-y type finish. They've also echoed that on the buttons as before. So it's not a different place to be. That's why we always replace this with an Alcantara
This
dash.
has been changed as soon as I can.
Yes,
I don't like the wood myself. Again, it's down to preference. We supply and fit a refinished Alcantara version. That's quite popular. It's one of the first things I want to do on this.
Yeah, it looks good on there.
And the Alcantara version, in fact, that car's got it, so we can show it there, matches the inside of the door card here. So I'm personally not a fan of the wood. I just don't think it ties in. There's no other wood in the car. Let us know what you think. A couple of small details. The pedals are aluminium for the
aluminium pedals,
performance ones. Yeah.
Back to the wood, I wonder if that would look quite cool in a black type finish like some of the Model S's as opposed to Alcantara. If they have wood, why not make it black like they've done on some of the others? That could look quite good.
It'd be a really easy thing, I think, for Tesla to have different options. So
Well, it's easy enough to take it in and out,
because this takes 5 minutes to change.
Yeah.
So perhaps our colleague Serge will make another video for that.
Yeah.
A couple of little details. There's a sort of magnetic clip for the sun visor. The wheels here, the scroll wheels are sort of aluminium now.
Yeah, they've got that knurled edge. They're just a bit more of a quality feel about it, I think.
We've seen the centre console in the previous video. So that's the same as the standard range that we had. There's nothing different there.
Yeah.
USB-C, obviously the new standard now. So 4 of them, to the front, to the back. And then you have the port in the glove box. That's all exactly the same.
All the same,
and it came with the memory stick. So none of that's changed. None of that's changed.
You wouldn't know you were in a performance model when you're inside it. I also think, going back to what I was saying about, having a slightly different trim on the exterior to make it different. It's a shame there's not some interior design cues just to point out it's a performance apart from the avatar type thing.
It's the pedals. Is about the only.
That's it.
Thing,
yeah,
really.
it's quite subtle.
If you push that go pedal, then you'll know.
You know it's a difference.
Yeah.
I should hope so. Yeah.
Again, we'll do some performance testing. Is there a difference between this and the other one? I haven't really pushed this one yet. I've covered 189 miles or so, so it's still early days.
Yeah.
We'll test it out. We've got a draggy. We'll test that out and see if there's any differences there. So at the back, I think
rear light's the same.
Rear light's same. Power tailgate.
Yep.
Same as the standard range. So that's the standard across the board now.
What's this, Rich?
And then I've got a box here. So separately from Tesla, a box came which has got mud flaps in it. So this is mud flaps for the Model 3. Didn't come with it as standard. They started fitting it on the sort of refresh models.
So did they fit it to this then, or do you have to get it in a box and fit it yourself?
In a box. You get a discount code making it 0 cost, and you order it yourself, and they come in a box a couple of days later. Yep.
Okay.
Maybe we'll put
Before the car's too muddy.
We'll put a little, yeah. Well, that's the trouble. They are very vulnerable to stone chips down the sort of side flanks. So I think, although I don't particularly like the look of a mud flap, they are something I will fit.
It's not a bad idea.
I will be fitting them, yeah. The car came with Type 2 and 3-pin. Same as
as you'd expect, the usual stuff, eh?
Well, that's changed. The same power tailgate fitting here. I don't like this plastic surround. That's going to come off soon on the number plate. Get rid of that, tidy that up. Carbon spoiler, yep. Same as before, I think. I don't think we've got that one there. I don't think there's any differences to the design of this.
Same shape, I think it is. I think it's very much the same thing.
I think it's exactly the same. Yeah. Charge port, all that, exactly the same. We did a little bit of testing yesterday to see if there's any difference in charging speed between this and the previous.
Is that another video?
It'd be part of this efficiency video. But in short, there didn't seem to be. In fact, this one was actually charging slower than another performance we had on site. But that could be down to just slight difference in battery temperature.
There's quite a lot of variables, aren't there?
There's a few variables of that. But it certainly didn't seem to have any type of faster charging speed. Because this, of course, has the slightly bigger battery, 83 kilowatt hour battery, compared to the 75 that we assume on the previous one. And so what they do in terms of range, the efficiency, what you're left with after a journey, that's in the other video that we filmed yesterday. Terrible conditions, pouring with rain the whole day. Yeah.
So that bigger battery, does that have an effect on the performance, 0 to 60 time, or are they?
Well, this is what we're interested in. On the website, they had 3.2, 3.1, but I don't. Yeah,
I mean, are you going to feel that and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah,
but it's a negligible difference though.
Yeah, we'll do some testing with this later with the Draggy, but I don't think there's really going to be any noticeable difference between the two. I'll doubt it, but let's
maybe
wait
you feel
and see.
it, say 50 to 70 or something. Maybe it'll come into its own there. I don't know.
I need to push it a little bit more, and we'll do what we can and put other videos out as long as we go. Any questions anyone has, do ask. This is my keeper car, so I'll be able to answer everything that you throw at me, and we'll do as much testing. Any suggestions, we'll be happy to accommodate that. We've got a better sound meter now for recording sound difference inside the cabin. I'll give you a brief overview really, that with this glazing, obviously the back's still single glaze, the front has this double pane. There's no immediate obvious difference. Like, seriously, up a motorway, I couldn't really feel a difference with that. The headlights were slightly different. So if you come around to the front with the headlights, now these headlights, like I say, this will make a separate video because there's quite a lot to talk about. We did one already which had a lot of interest in it, so the next one will include some driving. They have this new projector headlight, and most people seem to agree these are probably a matrix LED. And the now rumored mills are talking about the code that's in the light here, that they will be dynamic. Again, a bit of comment from me after driving last night in the dark or some country lanes. It's certainly not dynamic at the moment. There was nothing moving around. So the same as these, really, a fixed pattern, no cornering, nothing dynamic. They also have that different beam pattern, which is quite distinctive. Now, I noticed, I thought these headlights were good, but what I have noticed, and I noticed from the comments in the other video about the headlights, is some people didn't think they were very good. Now, one thing I have noticed is that they don't seem to be very well aligned sometimes. So on my previous Model 3 Performance, I spent quite a long time getting the headlight right.
Right.
Yeah, exactly, and I thought they were good. The new one, they are good. I was going to use a pun saying it's not a night and day difference.
But you think the setup out of the box is better?
Yes, there are. Out of the box is definitely better. They're pretty good. They seem to project a bit more light to the sides, but let's cover that in another video. There's a whole load. I mean, the previous one got so much interest on headlights. I didn't think headlights would be such a popular topic, but it really is. So, in a summary, if someone said to me, is the new car better compared to the previous car? I'd have to say, yeah, there's bits, and I sort of appreciate the changes, but they're not vast. They're not as necessarily in the real world as exciting as I think some people might think.
Yeah, it's not a giant step
I think
forward.
if people were tempted to go, right, I need to sell this to get this, I would say, well, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
I mean, I guess you can paint the wheels black, dechrome it, and then you pretty much, you know, got the same thing, you know, not far off performance-wise. If this is aesthetics
down to
you're looking
opinion.
at.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking at the overall performance outside, you know, range and stuff like that, you've not noticed a tremendous difference there yet either. So,
Well,
yeah,
we'll see a little bit.
Nip and tuck. Yeah, let's see.
There are some improvements, but they're not massive, but they're much appreciated improvements. And I think having some of the details like that USB in the glove box and the revised headlight. I'm hoping with these headlights that over time with software updates that we'll see a bit more. And then maybe
we both
the gap
love the
opens
things
out.
like those amazing Audi headlamps and stuff that you've seen where they block out cars in front.
That's what I'm kind of hoping to see.
That would be
Hopefully
really cool.
these are capable of that.
Would be, yeah. I wonder if it'll be like a paid upgrade. Maybe they'll offer you that adaptive upgrade. Yeah.
The topic of discussion.
Yeah.
And in the USA, we understand from the previous comments that these aren't available yet, but I think they're working towards having that available.
Yeah.
So I won't go through any more of the interior. We'll start wrapping it up because we did cover quite a lot in the other video, and I will happily take comments, and we are doing other videos, particularly with this car, to test lots of different things. One last piece of comment I did have actually from driving it yesterday is this one just felt like it had a slightly better ride.
Oh, really?
Now, I don't know why, and I was thinking this, I was driving up the motorway and I was thinking, this feels slightly better. This is sort of fairly firm on the performance.
It is.
Still fairly firm, but it just seemed to have a slightly better ride. Don't know why.
Tyres,
Without me saying anything, my colleague Ince, who's holding the camera here, said exactly the same.
Really?
So, don't know why. Looking at the cars now, we did kind of, when I brought them in together just now, like I was checking if these look the same and stuff like that. Because I think these wheels actually make this look a little bit higher. But actually, no, they're the same. So I don't think anything's changed with suspension. This one has not a particularly high mileage. My last one only took up to about 10,000 miles. So it's not like suspension wear would have an effect.
I don't think so.
Just because it's so new. So if anyone's got anything on that, maybe it's down to these tyres. I don't know.
I've always liked the long range setup because I find that car fun and I feel it is involving.
Yeah.
It's not as much of a driver's car, but I've always found that version for me.
Yeah.
Because look how much grey hair I've got. It's
more
than
me.
Yeah. But it's just a bit too harsh for me. Just a bit for everyday driving. So it'd be really cool if this turned out to be just a little bit more forgiving. I think that would be. It
would be nice, and I certainly found it comfortable again. I've been driving the Model S mainly for the last couple of weeks, and sort of be back in a Model 3. It's a bundle of fun. It really is. And my drive back last night was on some country lanes, and I did enjoy it.
So you feel like the handling was on par? It hasn't sacrificed?
It goes like a stab rat, and it's just like a go-kart. But it still has a refinement for a motorway journey. And
cool.
Yesterday in a torrential rain, it was... it was really, really wet on the section of drive yesterday, but it felt good. It felt well planted. So my initial thoughts on those Pirellis seem pretty good. But again, whole other topic.
More
with that.
tyre chat to come.
So I hope that's useful. We didn't. Somebody asked before about the front fog lights. So because the previous one we had was a standard range, which didn't have the front fog light.
Yeah.
So this one does. It's the long range and performance, I believe, have these front fog lights. It was just the other one of the 2021 model. I don't know if I should call it 2021. Again, it's contentious. Refresh 2021. Seems to be adopted now.
These are the same, aren't they? There's no change. Looking at the lenses and everything, same thing.
They seem the same, yeah. So when there were questions about the other one not having, or didn't seem to have the fog lights, it was just because that was a standard range. You won't get it.
That's it.
This one did come with floor mats as well. Difference between a standard range and performance. The standard range didn't have any floor mats inside.
Oh, that's those design cues I was talking about. That's how you know when you're getting in one. Then you go,
so a floor mat and aluminium pedals is about the only difference really. And in the UK, we get a year of premium connectivity with this, whereas the standard range only had 30 days, actually. So, something I never knew. Cool. When I had that other one, I was like, wow, how come it's only got 30 days? But anyway, that's the difference. With performance, for all that extra money, you get a year of premium connectivity. So, I'm enjoying my new performance. Let's wrap this up. We're going to carry some more things into another video. Did you have any other questions?
Yeah, I'm just going to see if that rug fits in here.
Interesting to see if it does.
No, not quite.
So it definitely is a slightly different shape, although it's close. It's close.
Just a bit smaller. Which means you'll have to stay in the other one, Rich. You'll have to come up with your own.
Okay. I'll get some carpet and I'll colour a bit out. Good. I hope that's useful. As I said, do subscribe for the other videos. If you hit the bell icon, you should get a notification. And do let us know if any tests or questions you've got. We'll do our best to answer all the comments. We had loads last time, but I do spend the time to try and go through all those.
It's interesting.
And answer everything I can. So let's wrap this up. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.
Thanks a lot.